Hello, I'm Franklin Baker, President and CEO of United Way of Central Maryland. We are so grateful that you have volunteered for our 6th annual Project Homeless Connect. Thousands of individuals that are volunteering will help thousands of individuals and families experiencing or at risk of homelessness receive access to critical basic needs. Together, we will prove that united we can create powerful, meaningful change in our communities. Please watch the following short training video. It will help ensure that you are prepared to get the most out of your Project Homeless Connect experience. Thank you for joining our fight to help our neighbors in need. United we fight, united we will win.
Project Homeless Connect is an annual resource fair for those experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness. The event connects homeless or at-risk individuals and families with services including housing, healthcare, dental care, photo IDs, eyeglasses, haircuts, record expungements, healthy food and groceries, employment readiness, and veteran services. Before we get started, please know that the volunteer information materials include a lot of important information that is not discussed in this video. Think of this video as a summary of the information found in the volunteer materials. There are 2 sides to the event space. One side is Project Homeless Connect, or PHC, and the other is the Vision and Dental Clinic, also known as Mission of Mercy. PHC will be running concurrently with the Mission of Mercy Dental and Vision Clinic, but the 2 events are separate. You will be volunteering in the PHC side and not in the Mission of Mercy Clinic. The schedule for volunteers is divided into 4-hour shifts that are staggered so that volunteers arrive on the hour beginning at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and 12 p.m. But volunteers are welcome to stay the entire day. These staggered volunteer arrival times will ensure that there are not too many volunteers arriving at the same time, and that there are sufficient volunteers to assist the expected 2,000 or more homeless guests that will be arriving throughout the day. Please arrive early so that you can park if necessary, sign in, and get acclimated to the event space before being paired with a homeless adult or family. The last volunteer shift of the day begins at 12 p.m. and runs until 4 p.m. If you signed up for the event as a professional specialist, such as a medical or nursing student, licensed mental health professional, childcare provider, or hairstylist, please let the staff person at the volunteer registration table know so that they can direct you to the appropriate area of the event. Dining services will be available starting at 11 a.m. and will run until 3 p.m. to accommodate the diverse schedule of volunteers and homeless guests alike. Your role as volunteer could be one of several positions: guest advocate, setup takedown, placeholder in line, helping with giveaways, or in the resume lab, or assisting with other tasks that will be assigned that day. Please note that most volunteers will be assigned as guest advocates. Their job will be to spend their shift with a guest as they go through the event together. As a guest advocate, your first interaction with your assigned guests will be to assess intake forms that the guest has filled out indicating their interest or need for different services. You will discuss their priorities and develop an itinerary for the day together on the way to their first stop. Your most useful tools will be the event map and the list of services. If you have any questions or concerns, there will be an information table during the event.
Questions may also be directed to 424-3-ASK-PHC or 424-327-5742. Or you may also text PHCALERTS to 51555 to enroll in our text alert system
To receive and send important event information. Please consult the packet for information you will receive by mail on the various service areas and how to guide guests to the resources they need. Volunteer t-shirts are color-coded depending on the role assigned to each volunteer. Trained mental health professionals will be scattered throughout the event and at the information table. These mental health experts will be wearing green shirts so that they can be easily identified. If a guest is experiencing a crisis, or if you are having trouble communicating with them, please reach out to a mental health professional who can then assist your guest. If you need to seek out a mental health professional, do not leave your guest alone, but rather ask them to come with you. Most guest advocates will be wearing white shirts, but if you speak Spanish, Arabic, or no sign language, please select a blue shirt. Purple shirts are for members of the Information and Help Desk team, which means that they are available to answer any questions you might have throughout the day. Feel free to ask them for assistance as needed. Finally, a red shirt signifies that the team member is part of the emergency response team. Event staff wearing red shirts will have walkie-talkies and they can connect to law enforcement or the medical team in the unlikely event of an emergency. Please be assured that your safety is our top priority and that ample law enforcement will be present at the event. We'd like to conclude this training by providing you with a few tips to ensure that you have a strong and positive experience volunteering at PHC. First, remember to treat everyone with dignity and respect. Volunteers should talk with their guests, not at or about them. Remember that some of the guests will want to talk to you about their stories and experiences. Listen actively and attentively, but do not feel pressured to comment or to offer advice. Second, respect each guest's privacy. If guests do not want to answer questions on the intake form, explain the importance of the information and the purpose, but don't be too assertive. If they continue to object, simply skip the questions. Volunteers are not allowed to take photos of guests or allowed to upload pictures of guests or other identifying information on social media. This is to protect guests' privacy. If they insist upon taking a picture with you, please tell them that Project Homeless Connect's policies prevent you from doing so. Also, for your safety, please do not share personal information with your guests. If your guest is going into a privacy room in the legal or medical areas with a service provider, please give them privacy and do not go inside with them. There is a waiting area outside where you can meet your guests when they are finished. Third, be flexible. Some services fill up quickly and there can potentially be long lines. Fourth, please remember that the services being offered are for the guests and not for the volunteers. Please do not take items or giveaways from service providers, as those were meant for individuals experiencing homelessness and poverty. Also, please do not attempt to access services for yourself. Finally, it is important to note that some guests at Project Homeless Connect are prone to mental health challenges. Due to long lines or the busy environment, your guests may become frustrated. You can usually tell if someone is moving in the direction of a mental health crisis, as their mood may change rapidly, they may raise their voice, or their speech may accelerate. In the unlikely event of such an occurrence, you should give the guests some space, ask them what their preference is for resolving the situation, or suggest that they try accessing another service. If the situation continues to escalate, you should seek out someone wearing a green event shirt. This concludes our volunteer training. Thank you for volunteering to be a part of this very important event. The personal connection that you form with guests is one of the most meaningful aspects of this experience, and we hope that you will have a fulfilling experience at this year's event. Please make sure to refer to your volunteer information materials for additional logistical information. We look forward to seeing you at United Way's 6th Annual Project Homeless Connect.